Hello everyone, welcome to Comic Entertainment. As many of you guys know, the Fantastic Four sequel is pretty much confirmed by Fox and it's gonna happen, whether some of you guys like it or not. I'm really in the middle. I don't really care much for it. I love Fantastic Four, but I don't think Fox really has much to do with the rights anymore. They don't seem to know what they're doing with it. But it's gonna happen, so I might as well make a video about my ideas of what should happen in the second one and how I would sort of go about it if I was a big time director, if I owned Fox, but that's never gonna happen. So this is just sort of me throwing brainstorming things out there. Some of these don't really make sense, but they make sense in my head, so they sound stupid, just deal with it. Um Starting off, I think that it should be like X-Men 3 happened, right? X-Men 3 The Last Stand, it wasn't the best X-Men film, arguably the worst one. And then X-Men Origins happened, or Wolverine Origins, and it was also really bad. And after that one, Fox and Bryan Singer, they knew that something had to be done about the X-Men series, so they made X-Men First Class, which is a soft reboot. It's still X-Men, as you can see, because in X-Men Days of Future Past, it still shows the original cast. It's in the same universe. They just changed the timeline so they could start with a new cast, but still keep the good X-Men films as part of the universe. But basically, X-Men First Class erases Wolverine Origins, and it also erases X-Men 3. So it was a soft reboot to get rid of the bad stuff and to move on with the good things. And now we have um, X-Men First Class, which is one of the best X-Men films in my opinion. It's really good. Then they gave us Days of Future Past, which is also really good. Not better than First Class, and now it's coming out with Apocalypse. Haven't seen it yet, but it looks good. But I still don't think it's gonna be better than First Class. They might surprise me. I don't know. But I think they should sort of do something like that with Fantastic Four, but instead of changing the cast and making it in the past, because you can't really, because this one is that means that they wouldn't have their powers. I suggest keeping the cast, but making it in the future. I think about 10 to 20 years that way, and then that way Reed will already be mature, know how to use his powers along with everyone else, and it could easily just skip the entire, oh, look at this, I can be set on fire and I'm invisible and I can stretch. Just skips all of that and it just sort of moves on to the parts of the comic books where Reed, he's a genius now. Or well, he was always was, but now he has his own sort of starting up company and he's making all this stuff, and then it can cut to Ben being a badass cuz he's Ben, and then Johnny just being Johnny, and then they can also form more relationships that they didn't have in this, like Johnny being sort of like not liking Ben all that much and Ben not liking Johnny. They sort of did that at the end when Johnny calls them the thing that nobody wanted, but it was rushed because they never really talked in the movie except like twice, I guess. So they could form that, and by the end of the movie, maybe they become best friends, just like in the comics. And it can also show Reed and Ben slowly growing apart, and it can show Sue and Reed growing closer together, and and having a relationship, which they also didn't do in this movie. I guess the library scene sort of did a thing there, but it doesn't really count in my opinion because wasn't really a thing. It just sort of happened. And I think they should start forming these relationships to make these characters feel more like, people and make us relate more to them in a way. Except that, because obviously I can't relate to a big rock guy and to a guy that can be set on fire, a girl that can turn invisible, and all that. So, I don't know. That's just my sort of idea. I also think that there should be, um, do something where because if you've seen the movie, if you haven't, spoilers right now, doesn't really matter. It's a meh movie. I don't think many of you guys care. Doom dies, or supposedly he dies. He gets vaporized or whatever. What they should do is, because no one really ever says it, they just call it a big bug zapper. They don't really say that it vaporized him. What they could do is he got teleported. Because all that stuff, it looked like it wasn't really being destroyed. It looked like it was being teleported somewhere else. You know? It got teleported from Earth to the negative zone, or planet Zero, whatever you want to call it. And then through that one again and teleported maybe, I don't know, somewhere else where Doom wanted to build the society. Or maybe just another part of the planet. Because he sort of really liked that one. I don't know. I don't know why he liked it. It looked like crap. But what they could do is where he didn't die, he just got teleported somewhere else. Maybe into a deeper part of space. And that's when they can introduce Galactus. Maybe Galactus saw I don't know, some sort of disturbance in what was going on, and he's just like, oh, someone's just ripping through freaking space. I don't want that because I don't know. They can make a sort of plot line where it hurts them, or I don't know, something like that. I don't know much about Galactus, so I don't really know much about the things he does. But he could just not like it. He doesn't like people going to space because then they figure out his whereabouts of him eating planets constantly. So he goes to Doom, planning to kill him, but then he realizes there's potential in him, so he decides to use him. They go back to Earth. Doom sort of weakens it by attempting to take out the Fantastic Four. Maybe he succeeds, and then he sort of leaves them alone because he doesn't want to kill them because Galactus wants to eat them along with their entire planet. And then when Galactus shows up, they sort of take him out along with Doom. Or maybe Doom gets away. Maybe they don't even after that. Maybe Doom just walks away, and he's now living freely, and he's plotting his next plan and maybe a future sequel for that movie. But what I hope doesn't happen with this movie though is because if you notice in the X-Men movies, there's not much destruction. Like I mentioned in my last video, there isn't much chaos. I want this movie to have chaos because it has so many characters. I mean, it's a guy who eats planets. How are they not going to destroy a couple cities? It's Doom. He's into that type of stuff. I want giant destruction. It's like I want things to go boom, but I don't want them to go boom constantly. So I don't want them to be like, you know, Man of Steel or the Avengers where constantly shit just goes down for no reason. I want things to have a purpose, but I want things to happen. I didn't hate the first movie. I didn't love it. The only parts I really enjoyed about it were the ones with Ben Grimm because he's one of my favorite superheroes. But I didn't hate it. If Fox just decided to just drop everything and just not make a sequel, I wouldn't mind, basically. But if they decided to make a sequel, I wouldn't mind either. It's just, I'm just sort of in the middle. But I have a little thing that's, because, Marvel has confirmed there's going to be 116 superheroes, or just characters in total, in the movie. And if you count all the characters in Marvel, even if they show us the completely useless ones, there's not enough for that. And we'd have way too many scientists, let's just be honest. So, and there's been rumors of Fox trying to, like, you know, share the rights to the X-Men and to Fantastic Four and to Deadpool so they can get some crossovers, so they can get them in the same universe. And I think that's in the works. And I have a theory that it's happening right now, and that soon we will have a shared universe, and that Marvel is just sort of thinking ahead of themselves like they did with Spider-Man. Because even before Civil War started filming, and before they got the rights to Spider-Man, they already had Spider-Man in the script because they're Marvel. They know what they're doing. They know what they're gonna get. So I think they're sort of doing that, where they already plan on having the Fantastic Four and the X-Men and Deadpool in it, but they just don't have the rights yet. They're just like a couple steps ahead. There's a car outside my window, but they're a couple steps ahead, and they're just trying and trying, and I think they're gonna succeed. And it would be amazing if just all these superheroes came together in Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2 to fight Thanos, and then that would be a good kick for Fantastic Four to finally be accepted as a movie. Because what they could do is first show them in this movie and then make the sequel afterwards, because the sequel is said to be made in 2017 February. So maybe show them in the Marvel movies first if they make this deal. That way people would think, okay, these guys ain't half bad. and then show them in their own movie, so that way people will think, okay, they weren't half bad in that movie, maybe they won't be half bad in this one. Those are just my thoughts. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.